Given at the juncture we are at, we can't talk about high performance machines without talking about electric cars. And this one has got the entire world's jaw dropped straight to the floor and beyond. The Rimac C2. Now here are some numbers for you. It produces a combined output of 1900 bhp, over 2000 Newton meters of torque, good enough to propel the car from 0 to 100 in 1.85 seconds. What? Now this car also has some upgrades over the Rimac C1, and if you're a Grand Tour fan, you know what I'm talking about. So it weighs about 1.95 tons, so it's a little bit heavier than the model it replaces, and it has a claimed top speed of 412 kilometers per hour. Where do we even begin with a car like this? This car delivers what claims to be better performance than any internal combustion engine car ever could. It produces around 700 more Newton meters of torque than a Bugatti Chiron, for crying out loud.
I think with an electric motor is obviously there are less moving parts, so the torque is transferred immediately down onto the ground.
It's like flipping a switch.
It's like that. It's like you take a remote control car, you put it on the ground and you switch it. It just goes. So even though it weighs 1950 kilos, which is a lot of weight for a car that's fully carbon fiber, including the monocoque and the subframe, so you would imagine it to be much lighter, but the fact that an electric motor can do that, it's got 4 motors, one for each wheel. It's got 4 gearboxes. In the front, it's got 2 gearboxes, which are 1-speed gearboxes. In the rear, it's got 2-speed gearboxes. So it's going to be heavy, no doubt, but it's got enough torque to just get rid of all the weight.
So one of the things that Rimac have really been proud of this car is because it has individual motors for each wheel. They say that, you know, it's got insane amounts of torque vectoring. So what is torque vectoring? How does it work? Where does it make sense in a car like this?
Well, again, because it's a heavy car, when you're going to go around a corner, there's a lot of weight transfer happening. So if you're going around a left-hander, a lot of weight is going to the right side of the car, and you want the car to be planted on the ground at all times. The best way to do it is through torque vectoring. What torque vectoring does is it'll cut the power from the inner wheels a little bit, send more power to the outer wheels, for example, in this case, because that way it'll help the car to rotate around the corner better. Because once you get your inner wheel spinning and not working properly, it's very hard to get a car around the corners. So you need more grip on the wheels that are loaded on the ground, less power on the wheels on the inside. So basically torque vectoring will just help the car rotate much faster than a normal car. It's not rocket science. It's not going to change things by miles.
What are the advantages of having a motor in each wheel, and what are the capabilities of it, really?
I mean, it's just like having 4 engines in a car, right? One for each wheel it's amazing, the fact that they've done it. I don't even know why I'm saying car.
Yeah.
Right? It's a device. It doesn't have an engine.
This is probably, I guess, more of an existential question. Is this a car or a device? Because here I sound a little bit more. They've released more specs about the car. It's got level 4 autonomy. Essentially, the car, it can drive itself.
So I lose my job?
Not just yet, because the car can drive itself around a racetrack.
So I definitely lose my job.
So Rimac say that in the future, they see this car where you can go up to a racetrack, down to the tracks onto your thing here, and it will take you around the racetrack around the fastest lines. And get this, it can even coach you using visual cues and audio visual cues.
So I lose my second job. So I'm hired here, right?
What do you guys think? Would you like to see Aditya Patel more at Power Drift? I think it's a yes. What do you say, guys? Yeah?
It's a yes. That's a yes. That's a sure yes.
So there's always a place open for you at Power Drift, buddy. But here's the thing, it's level 4 autonomy. It can drive itself at a racetrack. It can teach you how to drive around that racetrack. It's also got a bunch of features where it can sense the weather conditions and adjust the driving modes accordingly. And it's also got facial recognition to unlock the car.
It's just a device. It's not a car.
Is it?
No, I don't think this is a car.
Why would you say it is a device over a car?
I mean, when you say car, you say engine.
Right.
Now you don't have an engine anymore. It's electric. Yeah.
Right.
Then when you say car, you say driver. It doesn't need a driver. So what does it need, really? It does everything itself. It can go to the supermarket. It just doesn't have anyone to pick the vegetables up from inside. That's it.
What it does need is somebody to pay for it, and they speculate that it's going to cost around 1.7 million euros, which translates to about 11.2 crores in Indian money.
Yeah, but not in India, because then there's duties and taxes.
Duties and taxes.
Oh, I don't even want to get there now.
So this is another interesting feature of the car. Even though it is ridiculously fast, but there's also a lot of aero focus on it. So one of the things are these fins on the carbon wheel.
I mean, for sure they help in cooling the brakes, because again, it's a very heavy car, and if it's going to be a high performance heavy car, you need brakes to be cooled at regular intervals, because otherwise you'll have brake failure.
Here's my gripe with these electric machines, right? All of this is claimed. It's not been officially tested. Like, let's take Tesla for example. Yeah, the Tesla Model X is ludicrously fast in a straight line, and they claim that the Roadster can also do 0 to 100 in less than 2 seconds. But these machines are not out yet.
I mean, we saw with the C1 that it was fast. We saw it on the Grand Tour for the Grand Tour fans. It was really fast enough for Hammond to destroy the one car that they had. But so at least that is some proof.
Do you think it could ever tingle the enthusiast in you, saying that I could see myself driving a machine like this?
The future is definitely going to be electric.
Yeah.
We can't shy away from that.
Yeah.
You know it, we know it, everybody watching knows it. So I think the answer will just be yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Even if it takes a job?
I'm going to tame it.
How? That's the thing, because when you have cars like we were talking about the Senna, right, earlier as well. These cars require a certain amount of skill to get the best out of it, but these kind of machines will do the work for you.
I mean, you still need a skill. I'm not going to switch on the autonomous driving option for sure, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not going to sit in the passenger seat and ask this car to tell me how to drive.
Yeah.
For everything else that it has to offer, I'd love to have one of these. It looks fantastic. It doesn't look like a boring electric car.
Alright, so what are your closing thoughts on the Rimac C2?
First, I'd love to see one on the road. If the electric car can already perform the way the Rimac C1 did, then the future is coming faster than we actually thought it is. Although we don't see many electric cars in India, in the next 3 years, technology is going to be so far ahead that there's definitely going to be a lot of electric cars running around.
And all these cars have been developed in less than a decade.
In less than a decade. It's unbelievable. The last 10 years, the way technology has gone, it's like a Black Mirror episode.
Yeah. That would be a cool episode to do at Power Drift as well. Black Mirror and cars. What do you guys think? Like a virus for all these Teslas that kill all their owners. Don't sue us, Tesla. Elon, we still love you. But that would be pretty cool. With that, ladies and gentlemen, the Rimac C2, an incredibly good-looking, extreme performance machine. That's pretty much all we can say about it. More content coming your way. Are we going to see them again?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to catch you guys in a bit.